Okay, we are live. I'm going to add you to the stream, Riffat. Give me 1 second. Connect the chats. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, alrighty. I'm going to add you to the stream. There we go, Riffat. Hello, hello. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, all good. So excited. How was your session?
It was good. So it is hypnosis session,
Okay.
and it actually has been these sessions has been going well, and we are able to have control over anger, and so it's actually amazing to get the feedback how the client reports that they not only that they notice the change in themselves, like feeling not reacting as much as they used to, but they are saying that family members have also started to notice the change.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful. I love that. I love that. Hi, Uzma. Uzma says hi. Let me just put it on the thing. We'll start in about a minute.
mhm.
Uzma, can you see us, hear us okay? Because last time we had audio issues. Okay, I'm gonna wait for her reply.
So I won't be able to see any comments. I mean,
I'm gonna put them up here. Can you see that comment there? It says hello.
yeah, now I can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if there are any questions, then I'll just post them up or I'll read them out for you.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Um, EMDR has always been very fascinating on how it works. Yes, all perfect. Thanks, Osma. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. All right, so it is 12 o'clock, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. And today I have Riffat Yusuf with me, who is an absolutely amazing practitioner. She's been doing this for 20 years,
Yeah, almost.
almost 20 years. Wow, amazing. All right, and Riffat, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and let us know what you do. But our main topic for today is EMDR, and I'm going to let you explain that as well, just briefly, because like even for me, I have very limited knowledge on it, except what you shared with us the other day. So it's
Okay.
perfect. I may have questions. I still may have questions, and there might be questions from our viewers
Yeah.
as well. So we are live on Facebook, Instagram, my YouTube channel, and LinkedIn. So we're live on 4 platforms. So Rifat, take it away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Riffat Yusuf, and I am registered psychotherapist in Ontario, and I'm also a hypnotherapist and trained in EMDR, which is the eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. And today, as Huma said, we will be talking about EMDR. So, it is a form of therapy which was developed by Francine Shapiro in late 1980s. And originally, the EMDR was developed for to be used with PTSD, which is post traumatic stress disorder. But now, with more research and more practice, now it is also used for anxiety, grief, phobias, and other things. And EMDR is evidence based, and it is endorsed by organizations like WHO and American Psychological Association as well. So, in simple terms, we can say that EMDR is it helps the brain heal from emotional wounds, like the body heals from physical wounds. So EMDR is kind of that sort of therapy which helps us uh, to process the emotional wounds and heal from them, because when we go through any traumatic incident, it actually sort of gets stuck in the brain. Our brain is um, cannot differentiate between a memory and what is happening in the present. So what happens is, whenever the memory of, or in PTSD terms we call it flashback, when a flashback comes, uh, our mind is not able to differentiate between if this is just a memory or if this is what is happening to this person to my person, because it's our brain. So if this
Yeah.
is happening in the present right now, or if this is just a memory. So what the brain does is then, because there is no differentiation, so even if it is a flashback, the brain would make our body to react physically in the way that it would react if we were in that situation again in the present.
So we start feeling those emotions like bodily sensations, the tightness, the the, the pit in the stomach, in your gut, like feeling that oomph. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So it yeah, as you said, the brain doesn't know real from, well, the subconscious mind doesn't know from real from fake, and
Mhm.
that's why body starts to react like we are actually going through that trauma again.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm.
So, and to when this therapy was developed, Francine, she actually started to notice that when um, when we are moving our eyes from side to side, like from right to left, which was originally when she used to go for nature walks, and she realized that when she comes back from those walks, she's feeling really very relaxed. So she started to notice what is it during those walks that works to make her feel relaxed. So that's what she realized, that it is actually her movement of her eyes um, that stimulates the brain to release those stuck up emotions in our brain or in our memory. And so with the development of therapy, it is now also found that it's not only the eye movement, it's actually the bilateral stimulation, which can be achieved through either tapping or sounds, like for tapping, people uh, we call, the technical term we use for it is butterfly hug, where people just put their hands on their shoulders and tap
Oh,
alternatively.
that's interesting. Okay.
Or we can use sounds as well, which is just it could be beeping sound or any pleasant sound which is kind of beeping right and left. So it is, the result is for all these ways is the same, to achieve that bilateral stimulation, so that the brain is working in releasing those stuck up neural pathways that is holding the trauma in.
Okay. So I teach my clients bilateral stimulation as well, but just for the audience, can you explain what bilateral stimulation exactly is?
So, bilateral stimulation is when we are able to stimulate both sides of our brain,
Hmm.
because in our day-to-day lives, we are either working from the right side of the brain or the left side of the brain.
Hmm.
And so both sides are not working at the same time. So what happens is, if the right side is working, there might be certain things which which are getting stored in the left side, because that is sort of in resting at that time. So when we do the bilateral stimulation, we are actually stimulating both sides of the brain. And what that does is help us to not store any unnecessary information in the brain, but the brain works in releasing if there is anything that is stored or that is stuck in the brain in the neural pathways.
Okay, perfect. So an example of a bilateral stimulation that I teach my clients is just, or you can just share a little technique that we can do, and then we'll move on to the actual EMDR, the eye movements.
So the example, as I said, is either eye movement. So if I am doing EMDR with someone who is sitting in front of me,
Mm.
there are certain gadgets that are available in the market as well. Or the old school way is just moving my hand right and left in front of the eyes of the client, and they will be following my hand with their eyes. Or as I said, the gadget is it's a long tube with light on it, so the clients are following the light.
The light.
we
Mm.
can um, we can choose the speed of that movement as well, based on what we are working on, because sometimes what happens is, if we are working on releasing the negative emotions, then we are doing sort of fast movement for a little longer time, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, 20 to 25 seconds.
Okay.
if we are working on strengthening positive, then we are doing shorter and slower movement. So that would be shorter, like it would be maybe 8 or maximum up to 8 times moving the eyes, and it will be in slower in speed as well. So
Okay.
that actually makes a huge difference, because when we are processing negative emotions or negative trauma, our brain might be too overwhelmed, so it needs the time uh, to like in when we are processing, we are letting our brain go wherever it wants to go.
Hmm.
And so the brain needs that time to kind of go to whatever it feels like, this is what I need to go to, or these are the thoughts or images or memories. So that's why the 25 up to 25-second the BLS is done for that. um, Actually, yeah, BLS.
Bilateral stimulation. Yeah, I know. I kind of decoded it in my head as
I
well.
just got
Yeah, that's okay.
so so yeah, that's how it kind of we do change the speed and the times each time that we are doing the BLS,
Hmm.
based on what we are working on. And even though this is main processing part of EMDR, but this is not exactly all the EMDR, because usually when we are talking about EMDR, we are talking about this processing phase. So sometimes people think that maybe this is all what EMDR is all about.
Hmm.
Actually, EMDR is much more than that. Like there are 8 phases,
Hmm.
where the first one is for history taking. We take some time to get detailed history. And then there is this second phase is for preparation, where um, we practice doing some grounding exercises, and we can do one today, just for
Yeah,
uh,
that would be awesome.
and after the preparation, then there is the phase of assessment, where we are assessing and coming up with what are the what actually is the trauma or the issue that we will be working on. We make a plan on which um, which incident the client thinks that they want to work on first, and so we make a list of that. And then comes the desensitization phase, which is what I described about, where we use the BLS for desensitization. And after desensitization, when we are able to bring the client's disturbance level, because we continue to keep take note of, keep asking the client that um, that now when you are thinking about that incident, from 0 to 10, on the scale of 0 to 10, where do you feel your level of disturbance is? And so when people would report in the beginning, maybe someone will say my SUDs are, SUD stands for subjective units of disturbance. So they might say that my SUD is at 8, but by the end of processing, they ideally we are looking at 0, but maybe humanly that might not be possible based on what trauma we are working on.
Right.
So even if we bring the disturbance level to 1 or 2, that means the brain has processed that traumatic memory, and it is not distressed by that memory in the present now. And so when we achieve that, then we go to the next stage, which is the installation stage, where we install the positive feeling and the positive cognition in the mind, so that that negativity or the negative cognition that we started working with, that is replaced with a positive one. And after that, there is when all of this is completed, then we do the body scan to just see if there is any residual disturbance anywhere in the body. And we process that, and then we just complete the full processing is complete after we are done with body scan and closure. So and this is EMDR is different from hypnosis,
Hmm.
and clients are fully in control, and they are totally aware. They are not even in that state of trance at all.
Trans.
They are
Okay.
totally awake, and they know um, what they are working on.
Okay. So good point. So do we need to know what we want to work on to come, or is it content free as well?
Well, it definitely helps to know what you are coming to help to seek help for, but sometimes people are, and I'm sure that happens in every kind of people helping a field, that people come with that generally I don't know, generally I just don't feel happy at all, and
Yeah.
then we start to dig deeper and get the within our conversations, then we find out that okay, there is this specific thing that happened maybe 5 years ago, and since then there is this kind of the feeling of
Hmm.
unhappiness, general feeling of unhappiness. Or I can give you an example. There was a client that came to me. She said that she feels like she is always she's always saying yes to people, and it is difficult for her to say no.
Say no. Oh yeah, that's so common.
So that's all she said, that
Yeah.
I want to work on being able to say no, um, when things do not work for me. So
Right.
when we started talking, it came out the way she was brought up, and the way she was made to feel about herself with the parenting that she got. So it turned out that there were certain things which were related to how she was told to do
She
things.
should be. Yeah,
Uh,
like the good girl. She needs to be a good girl. She can't have a voice. You shouldn't speak up. You're the good girl. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
The good
So
girl syndrome. Yeah.
that's what was her issue, and so obviously we using EMDR, we have been working on
Nice.
releasing those traumatic memories from her childhood, which are causing her, now she is a university student, but they are still causing her to have issues in her life. And also something, oh, I forgot what I was about to say. Anyway, so we
That's
can,
fair. Happens
uh,
to me all the time.
if it comes back, I will bring it up.
For
So,
sure. Yeah.
um, so there are just a few facts about EMDR that some people think, because usually this is what happens with trauma therapy, that you have to talk about your trauma in detail, and you have to sort of relive that trauma in order to be able to process that. But
Okay.
EMDR is different. You do not need to talk about that to especially to me, when we are processing. You do not need to talk
Mhm.
about it. You only need to think about it, and
Okay.
you do not need to describe anything to me, because that is what causes re-traumatization when we have to describe each and everything in detail, right? So
Correct.
there will be no description.
Mm.
And yeah, what I was about to say was that I know we use the word trauma a lot these days, um, and some people say that trauma must mean something major happening in
Big.
your.
Yeah. Exactly.
So trauma is not always something major for some people, because based on their everyone's tolerance level, things will
Hmm.
have different things will have different traumatic impact on them. So
Right.
some people may not be traumatized um, by passing on the road and seeing that there was an accident and there are police cars. Some people might be just okay, something happened, and just pass by that
Right.
norm. But others might just thinking of the fact that there are so many police cars and ambulance, someone must be really hurt, that thought might traumatize them more. So everyone have their own threshold of what will traumatize them. So no trauma is small enough. So if you feel like I am, this is something that is impacting me, then that's what it is. No one should be giving you the kind of telling you that no, this is not traumatic enough for you to consider
Work
you.
on, or yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, everybody processes the trauma differently, and this is what I was going to say as well. Trauma doesn't mean that it's something big, because that's what we've been told, right? It's traumatic, it's big, but it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be big. It can be something small, and something small for me may be something big for you, and vice versa, right? So if anything that is making you feel stuck or keeps coming up and gives you, like you said, those flashbacks, and gives you that little, heart beating faster, or the tightness in your chest, or that pit gut feeling in the tightness in your gut, actually, and you think that that's something you need to work on, doesn't matter what it is, please know that all practitioners, or at least we should be, or most of us should offer a safe, non-judgmental space for you, and I think most of us do that. So please feel free to reach out to myself, Riffat, anybody that you can, to seek help, because that is very important. The fact that you know that there's something not wrong or fixing, but something that needs to be worked on, and you reach out for help, that's your first step towards healing anyway. So
Mhm.
please don't think that, oh my God, this is nothing to work on. I'll deal with it. Okay, it'll go away, or it's just in my head. That's what we keep hearing. No, please, reach out. There are also free resources available, but please work on trauma, which is either big or small, doesn't matter. I'll give you a small example, and I give this example all the time. And I said, and it could be, you were 3 years old, your brother stole your lollipop, and it's a small incident, right? But for that 3 year old, it's a traumatic incident, because nobody said anything to your brother. He just got away with it. So you start developing these I guess, programs about yourself, or beliefs about yourself, that I'm not good enough. Nobody stood up for me. He got away with it. There must be something wrong with me, or I'm just not a priority. And, all these wonderful, beautiful thoughts just keep coming in our mind. And then our subconscious mind kind of stores this as a memory, as a program, as a belief, as a virus. And now we're looking at this, at the world consciously, with this virus running at the back of our head, that I'm not good enough, right? So now we're looking at, and when we're growing up with this virus, we're looking at the world with this virus, and we're looking at everything around us, every aspect of our life, whether it's relationships, whether it's friends, work, school life, anything, with the virus that's going on in our subconscious mind. Obviously, we're not consciously aware that this virus is running, that there's something wrong with me. Everybody else is better than me. Do you agree, Rafat?
Yep, definitely. That's you explained it very well.
Thank you. So yeah, although for us as adults, we're like, "Oh, move on, man. It's a lollipop. I'll get you another one." But at that moment, for that 3 year old, it's a traumatic experience, and now they've stored beliefs about themselves, and
Mhm.
and this repeats, because the subconscious mind is like, "See, you're not good enough," and it's going to prove it to you time after time, event after event, that, look, see, I told you you're not good enough, and there's going to be another memory that adds to that. So it's very important to work on trauma, big or small, because this is now the virus, and this is what I say: we all have a virus. Some of us are aware of what that virus is, and most of us are not aware what that virus is, because it's been there, it's running in the background, right? So going into your mind's computer, this is how I explain hypnosis. How I work is, I get into your mind's computer, remove the virus, and we download and install new programs, and we upgrade your mind and your system. So that can be done with hypnosis, with EMDR, with so many other modalities that are out there. So please, don't feel that, oh, my trauma is not big enough to work on. No, please, anything, it all leads to something that's happened to you, most likely in the childhood, or something recent also. But most of my clients come to me, and I'm like, okay, I know. Inner child work, childhood trauma, definitely, let's go there. So it's exciting, because it's like, okay, now I getting to the root cause of why it's happening. Because feeling anxious or worrying or feeling sad, these are all symptoms of something that's happening at a deep level. And again, we don't necessarily know consciously what is going on. So that's why we use all these wonderful modalities to dig deeper, get to the root cause, and release it from there, because it's going to keep showing up in different areas of your life if you don't get rid of it. Correct, Rifat? Would you like
Yeah,
to chime in and add
definitely.
something?
Uh, no, I think I totally agree with you, and that's what we want everyone to know, that we are here to provide non-judgmental and a safe space for anyone, and nothing is too small, and there is no judgment. And also, unfortunately, this is many times this is the first question that people ask, especially when we are dealing with people within our community, that if I share with you, will anyone in the community know about it? So I would also like to emphasize on the confidentiality as well, that
Absolutely.
no matter whatever you are sharing with us, unless it is about your plan to hurt yourself, or someone is at risk of being hurt, then obviously there is a duty to report that. Otherwise, anything that is shared with us, I that we do keep confidential. And when I'm working with kids, I do tell them, even if you will tell me I hate my mom, I'm not going to tell her. And
Exactly.
that kind of helps them to feel okay. I can talk.
Yeah, yeah, we actually sign agreements, everything is
Yeah.
kept confidential unless it's been asked by the court or the law or something. That's completely different. Or like you said, if they're going to hurt themselves, then obviously that's our kind of duty to inform. Yeah. Yeah, especially working with kids, it's funny because they're like, but there's nothing wrong with us. It's our mom. And most of the times it's the parents who need the coaching than the children themselves, right? Most
Yeah.
of the time, not all the time. And sometimes it's like a unit that we need to work together, coach the parents, coach the children, because I feel, and this has happened when I'm working with kids and they go back to that same environment, the parents just undo all the work. And I was like, no, 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 no. And then I have to coach the mom and then I have to coach the dad. And I'm like, okay, let's work like, as a one big happy family, a unit, and let's work
Mhm.
on what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for bringing that up. That's amazing. Yes. Everything
I
is
call it
confidential. Nothing is too small. Every offer a safe, non-judgmental environment for you to process whatever's happening.
and
Sorry,
I call
continue.
it our circle of care. So not only for kids but even for adults, I say that we we will be working on expanding the circle of care, so
I
that
like that.
in time of need, like even for adults, if I say that I'm feeling anxious, I want to, and I have just one trusted person who I can reach out when I'm feeling anxious, and that person is not available, then if I will have a bigger circle of care, I would be like, okay, this person is not available, let me contact this second person. So the bigger circle of care is, the better it is for us to stay more relaxed and more in control and manage our emotions. And that is same for working with children, that we create a circle of care with parents involved, even though again everything is kept confidential, but we do uh, coach the parents that this is what we are working on, and these are the strategies that we have practiced in session, and I would like you to keep these things in mind when you see certain behaviors, then guide the child. So we do create a big circle of care around whoever we are working with. So it's not that if I'm working with you, you are the only one.
Right.
We will help you to have a bigger circle around you, who of the people who are there to support you and who are willing to support you.
Yeah, and support during the healing process is so important. It's like a journey, and healing never, I mean, it's not a thing that will be, oh, today I'm completely healed. No, there's something or the other that keeps popping up, but the intensity is less. And then you're
Mhm.
just, if you are put into that situation again, it's more like, okay, I got this. And it doesn't kind of, impact you the way it used to. So I love that about, other modalities that we use. Rifa, there is a question.
Mhm.
You know how sometimes, certain things remind you of the past, like smell or food or whatever. So Uzma has a question. She says, sometimes I pass by this specific portion of road and smell around that area triggers me and reminds me of that trauma related to that smell. So there's a trauma that is related to a smell. So every time she smells it, it reminds her of that trauma. So she's asking, is there a technique to not let it affect me?
Well, definitely, this is exactly what EMDR works with. So, when certain traumatic memories get attached to smells or a certain sound, or like there can be a lot of um, smaller triggers that can activate that traumatic memory.
Hmm.
So this is exactly what we do in EMDR, that we are able to separate the emotional response that is connected with any of the trigger, at so that that trigger a smell, or that trigger the
Sound or
sound,
item or yeah.
anything that might bring that memory back, but it will not be distressing or traumatic to you when that memory comes back. Because we know for a fact that when something happens to us, let's say something happened to me 2 years ago, now at this point, even though I that is not happening to me now, but still that 2 years ago incident, that is part of my life. So
Hmm.
processing anything through EMDR, that does not mean that I will be able to forget that incident. It just means that that incident will stay part of my life, the fact of my life, but I will not be getting emotionally impacted by it.
So
So
we
I
neutralize the charge. This is what I say. We can't change the past. It's happened. It's part of your memory, like you said. It's part of your life. But what we can change is the meaning that you've derived from it. We
Mhm.
can change the emotional charge that you have to it. It doesn't always have to be negative. It can be just neutralized. You don't have to make it positive. You don't have to force the positivity of that. And sometimes what happens is the meaning we derive from that event doesn't even make sense because maybe
Mhm.
we were
Yeah,
younger, like 3-year-old, lollipop got stolen. Like who cares, right? Yeah, it's an interesting, funny memory. But now what we're doing is we're kind of neutralizing the charge of that event because we can't change it. But the meaning that that 3-year-old derived from it, I'm not good enough. It really doesn't fit now. Maybe it served a purpose at that moment, but now it doesn't. So then we release that, and again,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
ways of releasing it.
So just realizing that in the past it has served a purpose. It was maybe in the past when that was happening, this
Hmm.
reaction was useful for us.
Exactly.
But now in the present, it is not useful for us anymore. So
Hmm.
that is why it is okay to let go of that, and and kind of we just then look at that memory as just a fact, and we do not engage with that emotionally. The
Correct.
analogy that we use for this is that of a train.
Hmm.
So what happens is I am standing on the platform, and I see the train, and that train is that memory of traumatic incident. So what happens is when the train comes to the platform, if the trauma is not processed, I take the train, I ride on the train, and I go with it. So that is what gets me every time. Whenever that memory comes up, I get on that train and I
Hmm.
get in, like consumed by that.
Right.
But when we do process it, what happens is I am on the platform, I see the train coming, and it is just a train that came. I do not take the train, I just stay on the platform and I observe the train coming and then leaving the platform while I stay grounded on the platform.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, okay. So you're sort of an observer and you kind of disconnect from everything else around you and you're kind of just
Yeah.
like, okay, let me just watch this train go by.
Mhm.
Okay,
Exactly.
fine.
Yeah.
So is there a technique that you can share with us right now for Uzma to process the smell trigger?
Well, right now, I would say this is something that would better be done in one-on-one sessions,
Okay.
to target the specific memory. Because if we are processing through EMDR, that would be doing the bilateral stimulation and then
Right.
checking, like periodically checking how that, if that is still as triggering as well. So that would be, I would say, to get to the root of it, it will be better to do EMDR sessions with a therapist. But in the moment, like let's say right now you are going and you do encounter that smell and you start to feel distressed. So in the moment, to calm yourself down, we can do a grounding exercise right now, which can be used for any time when someone is feeling that I am feeling so overwhelmed and I just need to ground myself. Then we can use this technique for this. And we do not necessarily need any sort of bilateral stimulation in this grounding. So to keep it kind of simple,
Hmm.
we can do that
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely.
So this grounding technique is also the name of this is tree meditation. So anyone, it's up to you, whoever is listening and watching, if you want to stand up, because as I say, this is a tree meditation. If you want to stand up like a tree, or if you just want to do it in your imagination, you can stay sitting down.
Okay, disclaimer, disclaimer. Please don't do this while you're driving. If you're listening to this while driving or operating any heavy machinery or need, 100% your focus. So please do not do that. Then please rewatch it. It's available on replay on my YouTube channel. So please only do this if you're sitting down or if you want to stand up in a comfortable, safe space. I must add that. Disclaimer, disclaimer. Just in
Thank you for
case.
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So let's get started. So I'm gonna just visualize it. So
All right. So just be in a comfortable position and imagine that your back is as a trunk of a tree, and that you have long roots that grow from the bottom of your feet deep into the ground, into the earth. So just imagine yourself, your roots grounding you and holding you strong deep into the earth. Take a moment to scan your body, noticing any areas of tension. And you may wish to gently realign your body so that you are in a relaxed position. So, first, we will take a deep breath in through the nose, feeling our lungs expand, and then let it all out with a big exhale, imagining all the energy that you were hanging on to is flowing out of your body, down through your roots and into the earth. Close your eyes, breathe deeply in through your nose, and exhale through your mouth, focusing on the sound of your breath and the bodily sensations of breathing. Just stay with it. Use your breathing to focus you and help you slow down your body's internal activity. You are standing in an open field with the sun shining down on you. You are tall, strong, and solid, and you are strong and wise. Bring your awareness to your feet and first notice them in contact with the ground, and now feel them firmly anchored to the ground. Now imagine strong roots extending from the bottom of your feet, pushing downward through the surface below, eventually reaching into the soil, and feel your roots reaching even deeper into the earth, winding around rocks and pushing deep through the many layers of cool, dark earth. Your roots grow and spread both downwards and outwards. Feel yourself anchored very solidly to the ground by your extensive root system. As you become more anchored, feel your tree body, your trunk, straight and strong, and feel your leafy branches extend upward towards the warm sun. And as you are breathing, imagine with each exhale you are pushing any tension or stress down towards your feet and out through your roots into the surrounding soil. Feel the tension draining from your eyes, your jaws, your shoulders, your chest, your belly, and all areas of your body. Notice how the earth is receptive and how the ground absorbs what you want to release. Feel grateful and lighter as you begin to clear. And when you feel properly grounded, take a deep breath and reverse the process. Now you will absorb healing and calming energy from the earth. As you breathe in through your nose, imagine with each breath that your roots are absorbing healing, white light with the rich nutrients of the earth gently feeding your root system until it reaches the trunk of your body. Feel that healing light entering your legs, your stomach, your chest, your arms, hands, and finally your head. Be aware of this sense of oneness with the earth. Feel this grounded, earthly energy fill your body, washing over you with feelings of well being. Feel the sun shining down on your tree body and know that with each ray of sunshine, you have the ability to create your own energy. Take a moment to step back from yourself and look at the tree. See how you are one with the earth and one with the sky, solid, steady, and expansive. You are able to both sway with the breeze and still be connected and grounded. As you have stepped out from the tree, you bring that strength, that grounding with you. And when you are ready, gently come back to the here and now, carrying the grounded energy of the tree with you through the rest of the day.
Wow, that was so powerful. Thank you so much. Oh, wow, that felt good.
Yeah, so this the grounding. I also find that this this is so powerful for grounding because when we do feel like I am the tree and the sense of having your roots in the earth and holding you properly, that brings like the literal meaning of grounding to us.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. It was first, it was nice just let go, and then it was nice to just bring back all the, we use soil and stuff, fertilizers to grow. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that powerful, all the good stuff from Mother Earth, and
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
bring it in me. And then I was just, when I stepped away and I saw the tree, I was like, oh, and it has fruits in it now too. So my tree had fruits. So I'm like, okay, that's good. This is a good sign. Yes, Uzma says it was so powerful. Uh, Anybody who was following, who's watching it live, please feel free to write your comments. If you have any questions for Riffat, please go ahead and ask away, since we have her here. Whew, okay. Um, so I have a red carpet invite. I don't know who that is, but she says, thank you for the great grounding session. You're very welcome. Thank you, Riffat. It was definitely very powerful. So thank you for that. Okay. Very quickly, I just want to know, how long does a general EMDR session take, like a one session? And then how many sessions? I know this is like something you can't answer until we know what the presenting problem is. But generally, how many sessions do we really need?
So, what I would say, a typical EMDR session ranges between 60 to 75 minutes.
Mhm.
And for a number of sessions, that, as you already said, that is very individualized. But let's say if we are just thinking about an average one issue processing, then maybe we can think that 6 to 8 sessions would be enough for someone to be able to say that, yes, I am able to process what I wanted to process.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So six of them. Okay. It's Wheelie from Singapore. Welcome, Wheelie. Thanks for being here. And Uzma, I believe, is in Calgary. So we have a global audience today, which is wonderful. It's always such a pleasant. These guys have very good energy, by the way. Um, yes. So thank you, girls, for being here. And anyone who's watching, thank you so much for being here live. Okay. Butterfly tapping. I know you mentioned that, and tapping is another very interesting concept where we're actually releasing um, physical energy or stuck energy, right? So can you just quickly tell us, how would you do a butterfly tapping? Let's say Uzma's challenge with the smell. Can we use the butterfly tapping just in the moment to release whatever is happening, the intensity of the impact?
Yeah, if she feels comfortable in doing that in the moment, then while doing this grounding exercise,
Hmm.
even while doing that, she can continue to do tapping as well, like when thinking that, okay, healing energy is coming in my body from the ground. So just doing tapping like this while thinking about the healing energy. So we will be doing the tapping at the time when we are thinking of the positive thing, the
Okay, that
positive.
was my question. So
Yeah,
we're not releasing while we're tapping, we're actually installing.
installing. Yes, we are installing the positive feelings.
Osma, you want to give it a go and tell us how you feel? So it's just basically, am
Yeah,
I doing right? It doesn't matter which way. Oh, butterfly. Okay, all right, all right. And then you just go tapping, and it's like installing um,
the positives.
the
Yeah.
positives. So okay. So imagine Osma walking down that road doing this.
That's why I said if she is comfortable.
Yeah, it's okay. Osma's cool. I think she's bold enough to even do that. So yeah, okay. This is interesting actually. I actually like tapping on my collarbone because it just gives me this great relief. It's just something
Mhm.
that's like, okay, maybe I've got a lot of stuck energy here, but every time I tap on my collarbone, it's like, ah, I feel so good. And I
Yeah,
think
and
there's
that
one
is.
spot right above your heart, like kind of left side. I don't know if you guys can see my left side, but it's like right here. And if you press it down, like really push it and massage that little area, it also releases. Okay, Uzma says she feels calm.
Okay, that's really good to know. That's instant feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and these are such, um, and Wheelie says tapping is a great skill. Yes, it is indeed. And it's these are such short yet so powerful things. Like you don't have to, and if you want to, you can, but you don't have to sit half an hour or 40 minutes or 1 hour to just meditate and get grounded. Like we just did what, maybe 5-7 minutes of that, and it was so powerful. And I think if you stand up and do it, it's and just go through that whole exercise again, I think, and just be in the moment, because obviously we were live, so I was a little conscious too. But if I just put myself into that trance and do it, I think it'll be much more powerful.
Yeah,
Um,
and if you're
Wheelie
doing
says,
it,
sorry, go on.
I was just saying that if you're doing it when you're indoors, but then visualizing yourself, like for me, the visualization that works best is that I am a tree which is close to water. So I can see the water as well, and I can see the gentle waves on the water as well. So uh, in
That's
your
great.
imagination, you can go anywhere that works for you.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, the imagination is so amazing, right?
Yeah.
So Wheelie says, my doctor used tapping to heal my deep depression before. Wow, amazing, amazing. Uzma said, it also helps me sleep. Hugging yourself. Yes, absolutely. Uzma also says, learned something amazing today, the butterfly hug. Okay, cool. Yes, hugging yourself is actually so nice. And we lose ourselves. Life happens, and there are lots of challenges that we have to face. And just hugging yourself. And if you don't feel this is not a comfortable place or a position for you, you can even just hug a pillow. It's
Hmm.
just that hugging releases all these wonderful chemicals in your body, and it just makes you feel safe. And a lot of women, especially, maybe some men too, don't feel safe, and whether it's safe in their body, safe to be themselves, safe to be their authentic self. So that safety factor is huge. Just to feel safe and supported is a big thing. So yeah, thank you, Isma, for bringing that up. Hugging yourself is amazing. If you don't feel comfortable hugging yourself, start with a pillow or a cushion and just hug that, and it makes a huge difference. Again, short, powerful tips, guys, coming to you. Uzma says, thank you so much for coming over, Riffat. Okay.
You're
She's
welcome.
still here. I'm not done with her yet. Um, okay, I'm going to ask another question. So EMDR. So I know you showed us a website
Yeah.
when we were following the ball. Okay, so that's like left stimulation, right stimulation.
Hmm.
We're stimulating both sides of the brain. But can we do it by ourselves, or do we really need a therapist to guide us through the whole process? Well, definitely yes, but eventually, do you think it's something that we can do?
So actually, not as to do it as therapeutically for anyone. That
Okay,
is not recommended, obviously, because
right,
what if you enter into a state of overwhelm while doing that processing, and then you are not able to bring yourself back to the grounding. But
right,
generally, as this in the beginning I said, uh, the way this therapy was developed was by Francine noticing that it's the eye movement. So, generally, doing it on purpose just for to to just calm yourself down, that is okay. And actually, if we notice that we are doing it a lot, we are, even when we are driving, we are constantly looking at right and left, and that is why some people say that driving is so relaxing for me, because the
not if
constant.
you have not if you have road rage.
Exactly, and maybe not for the GTA traffic, but
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
in Ottawa it can be relaxing.
There you go. There you go. Well, in the nighttime, it is very relaxing because there's no traffic. So I sometimes go for a nice drive in the night with my coffee and some music playing in the background. But it is therapeutic actually, as long as, yeah, you don't have road rage and there's no traffic. Yeah, that works. Yeah, but I'm a water body. I love the water body. I love the water. So being next to any water area that's just very calming and soothing, and the birds chirping, and kids playing in the back. This is something what I enjoy, and it kind of relaxes me and brings me back down to, kind of discharge all those negative emotions or feelings of the craziness of the day. Some people like the forest, some people like other things, but being in nature is just so beautiful and grounding. And now we add the eye exercises, the eye movement. And is it only left, right, left, or is it far, near, or is it just eye
No,
movement?
it's mostly just left and right.
Okay.
So I don't think there is any research about far near kind of focus in
Okay.
EMDR. It might
Ah,
be in some other therapeutic modality, but in EMDR, it's just like
left and right.
left and right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, bilateral. Okay, yeah. So Neha came on the Wellness Wednesday a few weeks ago, I think. Yeah. So she mentioned in somatic healing and regulating the nervous system. So there's this near and far thing. So we did that little exercise, and it really is like, okay, focus on what's near. Just focus on what's near. Focus on it. Notice your body, and now focus on what's far. Just the most further point in your room. And immediately my body relaxed and I didn't even notice it. I'm like, yeah, I feel calmer. She goes, no, notice your body. Like, what happened when you looked far? And honestly, when she made me aware that, my body actually went, so
Mhm.
so that, I think it's just small pieces from different modalities, and if you just apply whatever is needed at that moment, like, just doing the bilateral stimulation. So this is how I teach it. Holding whatever you have in front of you, and then just following it with the eye movement, making sure that you stop in the middle of your body and just go left and right, let my left and then right and then left and then right. But there's so much more to this, because he said when you're processing the negative trauma, it needs to be, you said, faster, slower? Sorry.
For negative trauma, it is slower and
Slower.
longer.
Slower and longer. You said about,
No, sorry, faster and longer.
oh, faster and longer. Okay. So it has
Yeah,
to go really fast and longer. You said about 25 seconds max.
yeah,
And when we're processing or we're installing and downloading the good stuff, we are doing it slower,
slower and
about
shorter.
8 seconds. So we are consciously thinking of whatever's going on or feeling whatever's going on while we're moving the eyes.
So we start with the conscious thought, but then we immediately just let our mind loose. Like when we are installing positive, I would say that okay, now think of that positive image that you have in mind, and the positive belief that goes with that image, and the emotion that you are feeling. So
Mm,
just keep that in mind, and let's let go. Let's follow my hand or follow the dot.
right.
So, and after that, the client does not have to consciously make an effort to stay on that image or on that thought. They will just follow the dot, and they will be just as we can say, just let their mind loose. So it
Mm,
will be up to the brain or their mind to go to wherever. It might go to some like sitting here, I'm thinking about my safe place is, let's say, my bedroom. But when I start to follow the dot, I start to think of fireworks on Canada Day, which
hmm.
is not related at all, but that is where my mind just went.
Okay. So just
So,
trusting the process, let your mind go wherever it wants to wander, but the body's doing the processing. The eyes are doing the
yeah.
actual thing, the work. Okay, you can just let your mind go. Wonderful, beautiful. I love that. Okay, Rifat, how can people reach you? So,
So they can reach me. Do I give my email address
whatever
or
you like, your website, email address, phone number, WhatsApp, whatever works for
so?
you.
For booking any sessions, either virtually for all over Ontario and in person in Ottawa, I work from a clinic named Four Wings Psychology. And to contact me, my email address is Riffat, Riffat, at fourwingspsychology.ca.
So is that FOUR?
Yeah, fourwings
Okay.
psychology.ca.
Okay, just I hope I got it right. Four Wings Psychology.ca. All right. Is there a phone number you'd like to give, a website? Are we good? Oh, it went.
Website is the same, www.fourwingspsychology.ca. So, uh, and on the website there is an option to book a session directly online as well. So if someone wants to do it on their own, that okay, I see the availability and this time works for me, they can just book the session directly too.
Okay, beautiful. So I just opened the website. I'm just going to copy it from there because I didn't want to go. Okay, I didn't want to miss typed. There we go. And I'm just going to put this on once it pops up for me. Loading show. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Okay,
Right.
and I'm just on the website right now and I see it says book an appointment and I just saw your name.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me just put that. Okay. And you do worldwide online as well.
Yeah, I can do worldwide as well.
Okay. Just making sure we're open to everybody, whoever we can serve.
Hmm.
And there you are, Rifat. Okay. So Here's book an appointment. All right. I'm just going to put this as well. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we let Riffat go? And if you're watching this on replay, you can reach Riffat directly on this website and or me, and we will try and answer
Yeah,
to the best
definitely.
of our knowledge. All right, show this one. Okay, and that is you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. Was really powerful. Lots of information, short, powerful techniques. I love the grounding technique. Thank you for sharing that. The butterfly tapping is amazing. I'm just gonna do that. It's just so relaxing, and it's like it's like when you're small and your mom does tap tap tap.
Mhm.
You go to
Yeah.
sleep. Yeah, so it's like it's very very soothing, very relaxing, very mommy-ish. It's
And
like
also, when we are doing it, there is a rhythm to it, and rhythm also brings more
and
calmness.
calmness. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you all who are watching live, and thank you for watching it on replay. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach Riffat directly. You can reach me. You can comment on whichever platform you're watching from, and we will try and get back to you as soon as we can. You can email us as well, or WhatsApp us. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the fastest way to reach me is WhatsApp. Um, Exactly. So, okay, thank you so much, Rifat, again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your week, and we will talk soon. Thank you,
We
everyone,
will.
for being here. Take care. Bye.